Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing super well and staying safe out there. So recently I have seen a lot of videos about this gouache set and I was curious, so I went ahead and bought myself one. I got it in this pretty blue color because blue is my favorite color. And I waited to try it out with you guys first so you can get kind of my honest reactions to it. So let's get to opening it. So when I started opening each jelly pod, I was a little nervous because I had seen that some people struggled with getting the plastic tabs off. And I'm not the strongest person in the world, so I thought I would struggle with that process. But overall, most of the plastic tabs were easy to get off, and I would remove each jelly pod in each row, make sure I opened each one, and then I would put them back after removing the next row, so that way the plastic siding on them wouldn't overlap and you wouldn't be able to get the other ones out. As I opened each one, I was getting more excited to use the paints because the colors were really pretty and vibrant. There was also a lot of paint, which also was exciting to me because I tend to use a lot more paint. I also thought these would be great to use on small canvases, so I will hopefully try that in the future. So after I opened each pod, I wanted to do color swatches so I could kind of get a feel for how the paint worked and how much water I would need to add to kind of fade it out, how much of the color I would need to make it super bright. And I was honestly super surprised at how just saturated the colors were. I definitely was glad that I ended up swatching things because, again, I was able to get a feel for the paints and how to work and get the exact color I would want. If I hadn't swatched them, I think painting a painting would have been a lot harder because, again, I wouldn't have had that initial kind of run through with the paints. I didn't swatch the whites or the black because I feel like whites wouldn't have shown up, and then the black is kind of evident what it would look like, so I felt the colors were more something that needed to be used first before I started painting with them. So the subject matter I decided to paint, I definitely wish I hadn't, or at least I wish I had just done a couple sunflowers instead of a whole meadow. I didn't realize before I started that I should kind of layer the paint slowly. I kind of used it more like an acrylic paint, not more like watercolor. Had I done it more like a watercolor, it would have been easier to add values over time and I wouldn't have gotten as frustrated as I did with it. But once I kind of set some colors down, I couldn't change what I'd already done. So I got a little irritated with that. So eventually I just gave up with the background overall and just focused on the flowers in the front, which I'm pretty happy with. My overall impression with these paints is honestly very positive. For the price and the quality, they are definitely a fantastic beginner gouache set and perfect for learning. I am interested to see what happens when the paints start to dry out, but I haven't experienced anything with that yet. Since I knew in advance that that was going to be an issue, I have been spraying them with water pretty constantly after I use them, and then if I'm not using them during the week, I will take them out and just check on them and spray them with water, because I honestly don't want them to dry out. I want to be able to use as much of the paint as I can. So overall, that hasn't really been an issue for me. I also missed filming parts with the background and because I wasn't paying attention to the recordings. So again, you're not really missing much. I just kind of threw some colors in the sky and that's pretty much all I missed. If you're looking for an inexpensive gouache set, I would definitely recommend this. I'm still a beginner myself, and I think this is going to be a great tool for learning how to use gouache properly before getting more expensive gouache. Again, here's the finished product. The flowers in the front, awesome, love it. Background, do not love at all. Just ignore it. Just it's not there. But I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, 100% would recommend these paints if you are thinking about getting them. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.